Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are tackling something that's generating a surprising amount of buzz.
Right?
We're talking about the Christmas Day release of Anaconda.
Yeah, and when you hear Anaconda, you immediately think 1997. You think Jon Voight, Jennifer Lopez, just that classic campy B-movie feel.
Pure cult creature feature. It was, not exactly subtle.
Definitely not.
And so our mission today is to dig into the early impressions, the audience chatter, all of it, to really understand how this 2025 reboot is trying to pull off a total genre reinvention.
And we're doing this before the official scores are even out, so we're really looking at the strategy here. It's a commentary on a film as much as it is a film itself.
Exactly. So let's just nail down the basics first. The director is Tom Gormican.
From the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Right. So he has a history with this kind of meta humor. It's pretty short, about 99 minutes.
And crucially, PG-13.
PG-13 for violence, action, strong language, and the genre listing is the biggest clue, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Action, comedy, adventure, horror. That blend tells you everything. They're not even trying to play in the same sandbox as the original.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the DNA of this new Anaconda is all about self-awareness. It's not a straight remake.
It couldn't be. It would just disappear. It needs that high concept hook.
So what is it?
Well, the core idea is that the snake is almost secondary. The plot is about two friends, Doug and Griff, played by Jack Black and Paul Rudd.
A great pairing.
A perfect pairing, and they're having this joint midlife crisis.
And their solution is?
Their solution is to remake their favorite childhood movie, Anaconda, by going to the Amazon and shooting it themselves.
Of course. And I think we can all guess what happens next.
You guessed it. A real giant snake shows up and just completely derails their amateur film production.
It's such a clever framing device.
It is, because it immediately signals the tone. It's not trying to be a serious thriller. The sources are pretty clear that the inspiration is much closer to something like Tropic Thunder.
Or even Be Kind, Rewind, with that love of clumsy homemade filmmaking.
Exactly. This movie within a movie thing, it lets them poke fun at everything.
Themselves, the original, the whole genre.
Precisely. It's like a built-in defense mechanism. If someone says the special effects look a little dodgy, the movie can just wink and say, well, yeah, it's part of their terrible low-budget version.
That makes sense. But isn't there a risk that you sideline the monster? I mean, people are still showing up to see a movie called Anaconda.
That's the tightrope, for sure.
Yeah.
But the cast they've assembled suggests they think the comedy can carry it. You've got Rudd and Black, obviously, but then you have Steve Zahn, Thandi Munin,
and Danielle Melchior. It's a solid lineup.
And then there's the big one, the ultimate nostalgia play.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube is back, a cameo 28 years later. That's not just a cute nod, that is pure intentional fan service.
It's like a bridge, isn't it? It tells the old fans, we see you, we love this thing too, even if we're making fun of it.
It grounds the meta-commentary. It proves they're coming from a place of affection, not just mockery. Now, what's fascinating here is we don't have a lot of hard data yet.
Right. No Rotten Tomatoes score, no Metacritic. The reviews are all embargoed until Christmas.
So we're operating in this pre-release fog, just analyzing the chatter, the whispers.
And that chatter is very, very mixed.
It's a total split. On one side, you have some of the genre critics and industry analysts who they love this kind of strategic move. They're calling the meta-comedy approach clever, maybe the only way to do this franchise again.
But on the other hand,
you have skeptics who are worried it's too clever. They question if leaning so hard into the humor will just alienate the fans who genuinely loved the original's earnest campiness.
Can you mock something and celebrate it at the same time? It's a tough balance.
And you see that exact tension reflected on social media.
The audience is completely polarized. You've got a huge group that is just excited for Jack Black and Paul Rudd. They just want a fun holiday movie.
They're sold on the chemistry alone.
But then you have this other camp. They're looking at the trailers, the clips, and they're just not feeling it.
Right, they're saying it looks unfunny, or they're worried about the VFX looking cheap.
Yeah, they're worried it's just another one of those bad Snake sequels, but this time with bigger stars. They wanted horror, and they feel like they're getting something else entirely.
Which brings us back to the rating.
The PG-13 rating and that Christmas Day release slot. Those aren't accidents.
No, that's a very deliberate signal about who this movie is for. A PG-13 rating screams family-friendly action, not edge-of-your-seat horror.
They're going for the broadest possible audience. They want the Jumanji crowd.
Not the Cocaine Bear crowd.
Exactly. And that explains the disappointment from some of the hardcore horror fans. They were expecting a creature feature, but they're getting an action comedy about making a bad one. Here's where it gets really interesting, though. If you look past the snake, the most consistent positive buzz is about one thing.
The chemistry.
The cast chemistry. The early word is that Rudd and Black are just. They elevate the whole thing.
It's a classic comedy dynamic, isn't it? You have Paul Rudd's dry, everyman energy,
The straight man getting more and more frustrated.
juxtaposed with Jack Black's, full throttle, over-the-top enthusiasm. He's the source of the chaos.
And that dynamic perfectly mirrors the entire premise, the grounded reality of a midlife crisis, clashing with this absurd, chaotic dream.
To really get why that's so important, you have to remember what the Anaconda franchise actually is.
It was never high art.
Never. The first one was campy fun, but the sequels were just straight to video fodder. It's the definition of so bad it's good.
And that's what makes the 2025 strategy so, kind of brilliant. They're not running from that reputation.
They're embracing it explicitly.
Trying to make a dead serious Anaconda movie today would be unintentionally funny.
Completely. So by making an intentionally funny movie that knows it's ridiculous, they sidestep that whole problem.
It's a much safer bet, critically. You're making a joke about making a bad movie, which is easier than trying to make a good monster movie that accidentally turns out bad.
And this ties into a much bigger trend we're seeing in Hollywood, right?
The meta remake.
Exactly. Filmmakers are commenting on old franchises now, not just rebooting them. The film becomes less about the snake.
And more about nostalgia and filmmaking and what it means to be a fan. It's a cultural remix. The snake is just the vehicle for the comedy about all that other stuff. Okay, but this whole ambitious meta strategy, it comes with some huge risks.
A huge one. The biggest is that tonal balancing act.
Mixing broad comedy with action and, actual horror,
Yeah.
that's incredibly hard to pull off.
It really is. If you swing too far one way, if the comedy's too goofy or the horror is too intense, the whole thing can just feel disjointed.
It risks being not funny enough for comedy fans and not thrilling enough for action fans.
And you end up pleasing no one. That balances everything.
And then there's the competition. A Christmas Day release is a battlefield.
A total battlefield. You're up against the big Disney movies, the Oscar bait, everything.
And Anaconda doesn't have the same built-in brand power as, say, Star Wars.
Right. So without really strong, immediate reviews and word of mouth, it could just get ignored.
It has to quickly prove that it's more than just a cheesy snake movie. It has to prove it's a smart comedy.
It's fighting an uphill battle against its own name.
So what does this all mean? The potential here is, it's massive if they get it right.
If it works, it'll be hailed as this brilliant, tongue-in-cheek blockbuster that knew exactly what it was.
But if it fails,
It fails hard. It disappoints the people who wanted pure nostalgia and the people who wanted a straightforward comedy. It's aiming for a very, very narrow target. But let me leave you with a final thought on this.
go on.
Since the whole movie is really about these two guys, Doug and Griff, chasing a childhood dream, maybe the real depth isn't in the comedy or the snake.
But in the human story.
Exactly, the emotional core. Could this kitschy monster movie actually end up being resonant? By exploring these big themes of friendship and nostalgia and the crazy things we do to feel young again.
That would be the ultimate meta twist, wouldn't it? If the movie about the giant snake is the most surprisingly emotional film of the year. A huge thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Got any thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions or favorite moments in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more reviews and content on the latest news, movies, dramas, and books. And hit the bell icon so you won't miss any new updates.